Hey, welcome everybody, it's Daniel. Today we're going to learn how to use shared preferences to save data across sessions. So say you go to your app and you open it up and you do some stuff. You want to save it because what if the user goes here and what if they kill the app? Like normally when you have a variable here, say we're to put a variable here like string, first name, name equals Daniel, and you can kind of set it, and when you run it, it will show up here. You can see Daniel here. But if you close the app, like say you go there and come back to the app later, or say they were to open up the app and then from the recents go ahead and just clear it like that, then it would wipe out the first name Daniel. It's not going to save that. So today we're going to learn how to actually save code, or not save code, but how to save values and stuff. Like you could save their username or their email address or their password or their preferences. You could let them know that, hey, you're the first. Like for example, you could display a message if it's the first time the user is opening up the app. So let's do this. We're going to use something called shared preferences. So val is shared preferences equals get shared preferences, I think. And this takes a couple of things. First, the name. Think of this as a name of the database. So we'll call this production. Then we also need a mode. So we want this data right here to be saved. We want it to be saved locally where other apps can't get to it. It's just going to be our app get to it. So context.mode private, and that should be an option there. So let's come down here and let's do something. What should we do? We'll do val first name equals, then we'll use the variable up here called shared preferences. We'll do shared preferences dot get string. There are a number of things you can get. You can get a Boolean, like a true or false, or a number, or a big number, or a string. In this case, we're going to use a string. So what is the string going to be called? This string is going to be called saved first name. Then we need a default value. So say we set up shared preferences and we try to get the first name, but say it's the first time the user has opened up the app and they don't have anything saved. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to say, hey, we want the default name to be, we'll just leave it blank actually, or we'll call it no user. Yeah, we'll say not set. We'll just do it like that. Not very good practice, but there we go. So we have our first name variable there. So let's go ahead and just display it. So I'm going to go ahead and go to my, and I have a new Android Studio project opened up, but let's go to content main. And so this is kind of like the default, this is the default view we get. But if we see the text view right here, let's give it an ID. Let's go to design mode, and I'll just do it in design mode. But select that, and then open up attributes on the right. And then you may have to press that button to toggle back and forth. And with that selected, we'll give it ID of, we'll do welcome message, enter, and there we go. So that gives us the text view of welcome message. Now let's go back to main activity and let's do something down here. Let's do this. Let's do welcome message.text equals first name. So we'll save it like that. So there we go. So just to recap, we set up a variable with shared preferences. We say, hey, it's going to be called production. That's the name of all of our shared preferences, kind of like. We want it just for our app so other apps can't access it. And we're going to go ahead and try to get our first, we're going to try to get a value called saved first name. But if there is no saved first name, if it's not a value, then we'll just use not set. So we'll go ahead and save it, and I'm going to go ahead and run it. And I'm going to go back to the emulator, or go to the emulator rather. And let's see what happens. So let's open it up, and it says not set. So again, we can kill the app. We can open it up however many times we want, and it's still going to be not set because we haven't actually set it. We're just trying to get it. So there's also a way what we need to do is we need to set it. So let's do something. Let's go back to content main, and let's go ahead and create a button. So I'm going to get a button, and I'm going to drag it. I'll just drag it somewhere near the top. Then because this is constraint layout, what we're going to do is we're going to click and drag to a side. So click, drag, and let go, and then click, drag, and let go. And we'll call this button, we'll call it submit button. That'll be good for now. Okay, so now let's go back to main activity, and let's do something here. So what we're going to do is, hey, every time you press that button, we're going to save something. So let's do this. Let's do, what do we call it? We called it submit button. So let's do this, submit button dot set on click listener. And if we come over here and do this, so we're saying, hey, every time you hit submit button, or every time you click on submit button, it's going to do the code right here. So what do we want to do? We have access to shared preferences, and then we're going to do, what is it? Dot edit dot put, yeah, so here we go. So put string. And this is kind of the same as get string. So there we're getting string. Here we're setting or putting string. It's just another name for put. So it takes, what does it take inside of here? I think it takes just a string. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and use, first it needs a field. So we're going to use the same field there. So this again here, this is get string, this is put string, this will get it, this will save it. So first name, and then what do we have to do? So the value, or the name of the value is going to be saved preferences, or saved first name rather, oops. And then we're going to set it to, we'll set it to Daniel J. Malone, because why not? So we have Daniel J. Malone there. There's actually one more thing we need to do. It's giving us an error here saying you need to do apply or commit. So at the end of this line, we're going to do dot, I think apply is what we want here in this case. So there we go. So I'm going to save it, then I'm going to run the app, and I'm going to go back to the emulator. And we'll wait a second here. And here we are. So it says not set. And again, we can kill the app, and we can open it up again and again, and it's just going to say not set because we haven't hit the button yet. So I'm going to go ahead and kill it, and let's go to content. We'll go open the app back up again. This time I'm going to hit the button, so I'll hit it one time. So I hit the button. So now let's kill the app, and let's open it back up again. And now it says Daniel J. Malone. So let's kill the app and open it back up again. And it still says Daniel J. Malone. So this is saving the data. So shared preferences, that's not just for when you open up the app, it's when you actually kill the app, and it will still save. So it's still saving saved first name. We're setting it there, and we're getting it there, and we're setting it here. And again, this could be an edit text right there. So what we could do is, let's do this. Let's go ahead and do that, click and drag. Go ahead and click on that to get rid of it. So let's go ahead and do an edit text. So we'll go here, let's just do, what should we do? Let's do plain text. So I'm going to click and drag that on somewhere. Click and drag, and then let go. Click and drag, and then let go. And then click and drag, and then click and drag. I think we could connect to that. Yeah, so this is not about constraint layout, so I'm not concerned about the UI so much. So I'm going to save that. And I'm going to run it and go back to the emulator just to see what it looks like. And it could be messed up a little bit. We're not going to focus on the UI at this point or the design. So there it is. So we can type out something. So we can type out ASDF. So now what we want to do is we want to give this an ID. So we'll select the edit text. And the edit text is called, we'll call this user first name. And we'll go ahead and save it there. And I'm going to go ahead and get rid of the text because we don't want it there. So we'll get rid of the text. Let's go back to main activity. And then instead of saving Daniel Malone, let's do this. Oops, got rid of too much there. Let's do this. Let's do, what was it called? I always have to check. We called this user first name. Okay, so user first name dot text. So there we go. Wait, what? That's what we called it. Wait, what did we call it? .toString. So here we go. Sorry, I just messed up a little bit. I was confused. So we have our first name here. So we have saved first name. Then we have user first name here. So again, that's the user. We have it. We give it the ID there of user first name, and we are getting the text and we're making it to a string. We're converting it to a string. And let's go ahead and run this. So I'm going to run the app. Go back to the emulator. And let's see what happens here. So there we go. Now it says Daniel J. Malone. So that's still saved from before. So what we can do is we can kill the app, and we can actually go into app preferences, and we can go to storage, and then go to clear storage, and then yes, we want to clear the storage. So I'm going to go ahead and just kill everything. So we open it back up, and it says not set. So I'm going to go ahead and save it, or not save it, but I'm going to do that. And this time it should be, that says not set still. Okay, let's do something else. Let's type our name. So we'll type out Jack, because why not? Then I'm going to hit the button. So I hit the button, and that should have saved it. So now I'm going to go over here. I'm going to kill the app. I'm going to open it back up again, and it says Jack. So I can do this many times. I can close the app, and it's all killed. The app is gone. When I open the app back up, it still says Jack. Or we can do it for Mel, and we can save Mel now. So now I'm going to go ahead and kill the app. Open it back up, and it should say Mel, and it does. So every time we kill the app, it doesn't matter how often you kill the app or how often you open or close it, it's still going to be saved. So it still says Mel there. So I'm going to go ahead and kill that. And let's think of what else we could do. I guess this is kind of pretty much it. Just wanted to do a quick video on how to actually save stuff. Again, we're using shared preferences. We give it a name for all of our shared preferences. We say, hey, we're only going to allow this on just our app, so other apps can't access this data. We're going to go ahead and try to get a first name, but if there's no first name, we'll have that value. Then down here, we're saying, hey, shared preferences, we want to actually edit it, and we want to put a string. So what we're going to put, or what we're going to save right here, is of the name, saved first name, then we're going to save the user first name, which is this edit text right there with the user first name. So that's all going to be saved. So hopefully you learned something, and if you have questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll try to get to them. See you in the next video.